Hey there YouTube buddies, welcome back. In our previous video, we are able to create the interface of our GUICalc application. In this session, we are going to make our interface functional or be able to respond to user events. Let's go. For us to use an action listener, we are going to make use of the implement keyword and then the name of the listener. You notice that it's underlined red, meaning there is an issue, and we are going to apply quick fix to resolve the issue. And so the issue was that the classes that we need were not imported. So there you go. So same, you notice also that the class is also underlined red, meaning again there is an issue, and the issue there was we need to implement one of the method of the action listener. There you go. So take note of those things that just happened after we apply the quick fix. We now register the components that are needing action listener. Take note that not all the components inside will be needing action listener. So for example, for the labels, no need to register an action listener because the user will not be doing any events to these labels. But as for the buttons, we expect that the user will be doing some actions such as click or can be key press. And so we are now registering all these buttons with an action listener. And for us to do that, we invoke the add action listener, and then the parameter is this. The this is pointing, or it's referring to the action listener that was implemented by this class. Okay, so there you go. We modify all the object name until we finish all the registration. So finally, we have there the equals. So almost all of them are registered to the action listener. If we are going to test our code, you will notice that there are no responses yet because we have not yet written the code. The action perform is a method that is invoked every time an action occurs to one of the registered component. So for example, if you click on the C button, the action perform is invoked. To be able to respond correctly, we have to identify what was the source of the event. And so using the E object, we're going to invoke the method getSource to know what was the source of the event. So here we are checking whether the source of the event is equal to the JB1 button. So if true, then we'll know how to respond. Now, to be able to know where to display the text, you need to set a Boolean flag that will tell us where to display the text. And so we introduce here the variable operand 1 that will serve as a Boolean flag. So if operand 1 is true, then we display the text in label 1. Now, in displaying the text in label 1, we have to invoke the method setText and then display 1. Now, before displaying the value 1, we have to get the content of the text and append the value 1. So whatever is the content of the label 1 will be appended to the text 1. So here we declare the variable, and then it will be initially set to true. Okay. So here, if we click on 1, it will display at operand 1, or it will display at operand 1 label. Alright. So this is the same logic to all the numeric buttons. So for example, we check whether the source is coming from the button 2. If so, then we again check whether we are displaying it in label 1 or in label 2. So as you can see, it's just a matter of modifying the code. So we check first 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, then 5 until 0. There, we modify as well the text. So for 7, we have to modify the text to 7, 8, 8, 8, 9, 9, 9. So we're going to test. There, it's working fine. So now that we are able to display the text in label 1, the next thing that the user will do is to click on the operator. And so we have to check again whether what operator is clicked by the user. So for example, if the user clicks on the add button, what will happen next? And so what we're going to do is to set the operand 1 to false, so that the next time the user will click on the numbers, it will be displayed in label 2. Then we have to introduce another variable. We call it operator, so that we will set that variable to the current operator. So of course we have to declare it, and this time the data type will be string because we are assigning a string to this variable. So the same logic will be applied to all the operators. So we simply copy paste, and again we simply modify the names of the variables and the string that needs to be modified. So for subtract, for multiply, for division, for modulo, what else? For the clear button. For the clear button, it will be a different story because the clear button is not an operator. So if the clear button is clicked by the user, all we have to do is to clear the 2 labels. So here we simply invoke the set text and then supply it with an empty string. Of course, we have to set the operator 1 to true, so that the next time the user will try another expression, the first value will be displayed in label 1. And then finally, we go to the equals. So what do we do if the user finally click on the equals button? So first, before we display the result of the operation, we have to check whether what operator was clicked by the user. And so that is why our code here is a condition that checks whether the operator variable is equal to plus. That means if the user selected plus, then that means the operation that we are going to perform is addition. So here we have a variable result, then we get the value at label 1. There, we get the value at label 1, then we add it to whatever the value at label 2. Of course, since these are string, we have to parse it or convert the value into double by using the wrapper double that parse double. So we have to convert operand 1 and operand 2. So there you go. Alright. So whatever the result will be returned to variable result. So the result variable is what we're going to display later on. So there, plus 21 is equal to up. So it's not yet working because though we computed or we did the operation, we did not yet display the result. And so in displaying the result, we can test the result by displaying it in operand 1. So let's try 12 plus 21 or 2. There you go. So we're able to see the result here at label 1. So again, we just copy paste the code, then again we'll just modify the values. So for example, for subtract, then multiplication, then division, then modulo. There you go. So let's try this. 12 times 2 is 24. 40 times 4 modulo. Alright, we forgot the 0. So we are adding the code for 0, copy paste, modify to 0. This is 0, 0. Alright. So 10 modulo 6 will give us 4. Alright, it's working fine. Now let's do some modification in the way we output the result. So we'll make use of the operand 1 to display the expression, and then we'll make use of the operand 2 to display the result. And so we get whatever the value of operand 1, then append it to the operator, then append it to the second operand, just like what we did, or just like what I did earlier in my pretest. So example 10 modulo 6, there you go. Or 12 plus 5 would be 17. So there, everything is working fine. Alright, let's try the decimal point. I think we have to fix this. So let's go and do some modification with our code. Just copy this code, paste it. This should be dot, and this should be JB point. Let's try this. 10.5 times 5 would give us 52.5. Alright. So there you go, guys. I think everything is working fine already. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you in my next tutorial.